Hey, Shalom. It's your brother Yerushalayim from the GMS Champaign, Illinois branch. For all things, I want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, who I learned this truth from. Salutations to all the Akim that's pushing this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. All right, Shalom. And I just want to get right into it. This is another video from the beloved brothers page, Arrows of One Indignation 144. And you're gonna see the times that we living in. Hey, the warning is out, man. All right, it's time for you people to stop playing games and stop, bullshitting. All right, hey, the Lord has got His prophets out here. All right, starting with great millstone from the Apostle Tahar on down. All right, the correct doctrine, 100% truth is out here, and for you people, that's naysaying and going against this, you're gonna find yourself in complete damnation. All right, the Lord is going to destroy you, man. All right, and give you a gruesome death. All right. Hey, this thing is not a joke. People, for the most part, our people are just in complete folly. And I'm not even, to hell with them. 2/3 of we know that they're going to perish. But for you people who know in the walk, all right, not taking this thing serious, all right, the Lord is going to kill you, man. All right, this is not a joke, man. Hey, to be putting the Lord off day by day. The Lord is going to kill you, man. This is not a joke at all, man. I'm going to play this.
This is what they've been distracting us from. Wait for the end for solutions.
What part of this do you want me to go deeper on?
Tell me everything you know about the Antichrist. If you have any biblical references, or just tell me everything you go, what should we be?
All right, and that's another false doctrine that's put out to these people. Is you're supposed to be looking for, one individual, some, certain Antichrist that's gonna come out, one person who's gonna, lead this world into NWO. No, it's the scriptures say that there are many Antichrists. All right, anybody who is not following the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah is an Antichrist. All right, that's a doctrine that's put out here by these false prophets, man. All right, the Antichrist is anybody who's going against Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. All right.
You looking for?
The mark of the beast, straight from Revelation 13:16 to 18. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. That's 666, brother. The elites have been reverse engineering this prophecy for centuries. The mark isn't some cartoon barcode or 666 tattoo. It's a system that merges you into their beast computer. What to look for right now? Digital ID tied to your body, CBDC wallets that require biometric authentication. Your face, palm, or iris scan becomes your mark to transact. Neural interfaces. Neuralink, those brain chips they're rushing. Once it's in your forehead area, you're literally plugged into the beast system. No chip, no access to money, healthcare, or travel. Vaccine passports on steroids. The mRNA shots were beta testing. They already proved they can shut you out of society if you don't comply. Quantum.
All right, hey, that's what we was telling people, man. All right, when the C-19 thing was going on, all right, and people were getting that jump shot. Hey, we were telling people, all right, this is just a test run. All right, they were looking at who would refuse and who would comply. All right. So they're putting a certain civilians, U.S. citizens, in categories. All right, I always go into the government's red list and blue list, which is two different categories that you can be labeled as, which means the blue list was you can be retaught and integrated back into society, all right, into their new world society. The red list where you're marked for death. All right, so everybody who refused to get that 19, you can best believe that your ass is on the list to die. All right, but in the same breath, all right, over here at GMS, hey, we were about the only camp that was telling our congregation, don't get it, man. Right, you had the leaders of IUIC just telling a congregation. I remember a video was going around where a woman asked Bishop Nate, did she was going through a job situation and she didn't want to lose her job, and he told her basically just get it, she'll be okay. All right, to save one of Esau's funky ass jobs, man. That's crazy. All right, and General Yohana IUSUPK, he told his congregation, you be stupid not to get it, man. You'll be stupid not to get the C-19, man. That's how we know you other camps, man. You other leaders and leadership of you other camps, you sold out, man. All right, you have sold out, man. So let me get this Revelation 13. I'm gonna start at verse 12. It says, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, all right, and caused of the earth from them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And that's talking about Rome, all right. Rome was taken down, all right, but it says whose deadly wound was healed, because if you look into the Renaissance era, all right, that was a rebirth of Roman culture. All right, so when the Edomites was coming back into power during the Renaissance era, all right, the rise of Britain and so forth, all right, Spain and all these other Edomite countries, all right, the Renaissance era, they were rebirthing Roman culture and pushing Roman culture throughout the world again. All right, so that was that deadly wound was healed. It says, and he doeth great wonders, so that he make a fire come down from heaven on the earth in sight of men. All right, which is all that nuclear destruction. It says, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, all right, which he had the power to do in the sight of the beasts. All right, so through this beast system, all right, this devil is going to make certain miracles happen. All right, you're seeing how these Edomites will brag about and boast about the capabilities of Neuralink, all right, of being C-hipped, all right, taking that Shasta stigma, all right, 666, all right, taking that prick, if you can catch my drift, all right, when you take this C-hip, all right, the Lord, all right, I'm Shalakia, when you take that C-hip, all right, you're granted with certain abilities, all right, they're talking about you know, being able to download a book into your brain, all right, things like a paraplegics walking and so on and so forth. All right, they're saying that if you don't take this, you're pretty much at risk of being left behind if you're just gonna stay a regular human to be further in their society. And the way they're gonna get people to bow down to this, or they're gonna make the conditions of the earth, you know, so treacherous that people are going to feel like they don't have a choice. All right. It says, saying that them that dwell upon the earth, that they should make an image to the beast which had wound by the sword and did live. It says, and he had power to give life unto the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right. So if you're not willing, all right, to bow the knee, all right, to Esau Edom and his micro C-hip, all right, then you're going to have the threat of being put to death. All right, and that word kill can also go into being separated. So you're going to be X'd out. You're going to be X'd out of society, all right? You're going to be X'd out of Esau New World Order. All right? So these are the times that we're living in, man. It says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And you got these other camps saying that they never give a straight answer of what the Motb is. And if they do, they switch their definition up when time, you know, as the years go. I seen these other camps. I remember ISUPK was saying it was white women at one point. All right, how the hell is the Motb white women? As if, you know, a white woman can stop your ass from buying or selling. You know, it's just foolery. But these people are sold out, man. Hey, and if you want to follow them, you know, be my guest. All right, you're gonna lead yourself right to destruction. All right, it says here is wisdom. All right, this is the wisdom, man. You want the real wisdom, hey, you know where to get it at. It says, let him that have understanding count the number of the beasts, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right, Shasta stigma. All right, which it's here, man. We're not at the times anymore where you can prolong. Hey, this thing is here, especially with the ongoing war with Persia, Iran. All right, modern day Persia is Iran. All right, the Elamites. All right, this thing is busting. All right, it's going off. It's going up.
Dot tattoos or hydrogel, invisible markers under the skin that light up under certain scanners. Bill Gates' ID 2020 project was basically this. The forehead represents your mind, accepting their ideology. The hand represents your actions, working for their system. Once you take it,
And they shut up with all that. All right, they're just talking.
you're locked in. No repentance after that point, according to the text.
But that's true. All right. Once you take this thing, it's a wrap, man. There's no coming back from taking this micro C hit, man. All right. Once you take this, there's nothing you can do, man. This is the ultimate test of your trial. All right. This is the ultimate faith test, man. All right. Revelation 3:10, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. All right. And how do you do that, man? By enduring for righteousness' sake now. All right, you have to endure, all right, and live through righteousness, all right, and keep your foot forward for the Lord, all right. It says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, all right, which is the hour of temptation when this thing is made mandatory upon the whole earth. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So, even though you see these other countries and they're bickering and at war. All right, and you can see it's division amongst these Edomite countries. All right, through NATO, EU, they're all constantly at odds with each other. But in the same breath, all right, there's still every single one of these European nations are still pushing, all right, towards what? A digital currency. All right, they're still all pushing through a micro C hipping their population, their citizens. All right. They don't agree on who's going to rule, who's going to be in charge and all these things. But it's still a race, all right, to get this system up. All right, because all these nations are fighting to see who's going to be the head of this new society, right? Who's going to be the head of this NWO.
That's why the fallen angel celebs push it so hard.
All right, and that fallen angels, that the elites are fallen angels, that shit is cap. All right, that's another false doctrine. All right, that's false. All right.
Convenience, safety, all the propaganda. The beast system is already here in pieces. Look at China's social credit, Europe's digital euro trials, America's FedNow. It's all converging into one global control grid. They're not hiding it anymore. Keep your eyes open and your soul clean. The mark will be sold as the greatest convenience in human history. That's how you know it's the trap.
I honestly pray that I'm wrong, but if you look around, like, it ain't good for so many people. And I can't even imagine how bad it's going to get when AI starts taking over hundreds of millions of jobs. I'm already getting people in my DMs, more than I can count. They're looking for work, they lost their job, AI took over, or it's around the corner and there's already talks of it and people are already dropping like flies in their office. It's not going to be good. You have a very small window to do something that AI cannot replace, and it's online. And no, it's not MLM, it's not crypto, it's not stocks, it's not Melaleuca. There's literally thousands of ways, all stemming from social media and digital marketing. And
ain't shit. She could shut up too, man. She ain't got the damn answers, man. These people don't have the answers, bro. These people don't have the damn answers, man. All right. Hey, there's not gonna be no work. All right. Period. All right, that's how Esau Edom wants. That's what he wants. That's why he's bringing in they call it a universal banking income, all right, which they're going to put all the civilians, all the citizens on a universal banking income, which they're going to credit you whatever amount of money they deem fit, all right? And if you disobey, all right, or go against what they believe your ass should be doing, they're going to be deducting you or just cutting you off from your currency, as a whole. All right, that's why you have to be willing to separate yourself, to willing to forsake all this shit. Right? You had the devil call Saul, say, yeah, you will own nothing and be happy. That's what this is going towards. Why you think when you look at ownership of pretty much, they're snatching ownership away from when it comes to housing, all these different things, cars, even when it comes to entertainment, everything from when used to own games, or you just had PlayStation say that they're not making any more physical games after 2027. All right. You had so everything is being moved to streaming. You don't own anything anymore, man. Right? That's not a coincidence, all right? It's by design. So this is Isaiah 19, I'm gonna start at verse 14. It says, "The Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth," all right? As a drunken man staggereth in his vomit, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, all right? Which, we know that America, all right, is spiritually Egypt, is spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah. It says, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. All right, so pretty soon there's not going to be any work for nobody to do, man. So to hell with this lady, ain't got the damn answers, man. All right, you listen to her ass if you want to. It says, in that day, Egypt shall be like a woman, and she'll be afraid and fear because of shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts. All right, so the Lord is gonna, he's gonna send a perverse spirit through here, man. Things are gonna get crazy over here in America, man. It says, which he shall shaketh over. All right, so pretty soon ain't gonna be no jobs for no damn body. All right, no position you have, it's over with, man. All right. That's why the previous scripture I read in Revelation, the 13th chapter, it said, he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor. All right, it don't matter what position you in. All right, you're gonna have to bow the knee to this thing. All right, or you're gonna be X'd out of his society at whole. All right, and you ain't got no hope unless you got the spirit of the Lord with you, man. That's the only thing that's gonna work, man. Everything outside of that is gonna fail.
Happy to share. I have some totally live trainings this week where I break it down step by step, and I keep these classes super small. So if you want the link to join us, comment class below and I will send you the link, because you need to at least open up your mind to this world. Like, it is so freaking good, and it's such a no-brainer once you see it.
Yeah, she could shut the hell up, man. All right. So this is what's going on, man. I just wanted to get that out there, because the spirit hopped on me, all right, to bring that out. And Lord willing, it was edifying for the elect's sake, all right, because that's who we endure all things for, man. All right, because once the elect of Israel is sealed, all right, all this shit is gonna bust off 100%. And the elect could be sealed right now, all right, because the way things are rolling out, it very well could be, man. All right, so you brothers and sisters that's out there listening and watching, all right, tighten up, man. All right, if you know you can do more, do more. All right, it's time to lock in with the spirit, man. Are you men out there? Are you been bullshitting? All right, it's time to get out there, and put your foot forward for the Lord, man. Even if you've not been called to be a prophet, all right, to teach, you need to help the body in some way. All right, you need to get out there and help the body. Be involved with the body, man. Put your foot forward, man. It's time to stop, cheerleading and actually help the body, man. All right, and I'm not talking financially. I'm talking through the spirit, man. So Lord willing, I was adding for the elect's sake. So with that, I'm gonna give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash, and double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone. Until next time, Akim Shalom.